Salut à tous, on a aujourd'hui la chance d'avoir un pro avec nous, c'est mon coach, je le vois à peu près une fois par semaine. Il est irlandais, donc on va tout de suite switcher en anglais to introduce Mark Healy. Hi Mark, I'm so happy to be here today. Thank you so much for agreeing to do this video and for your patience with me. If you can introduce you or to say a few words.
Yeah, no problem. Hi guys, my name is Mark Healy. I've been Julian's coach now for a couple of months. Yeah. I think we've been making some good progress together, but I think today we'll be able to show you a little insight into what work we do together and show you his processes.
Perfect, thank you so much. Just Mark did the university in
United
US,
States, yeah.
So the level is really good and the coaching is really good. So let's go. Yeah, definitely. So what's the focus of today to try to fix on my swing, on my game?
I think for us, when we start every session, it's to start with setup. I think when we start every session, things can creep in. Everyone has different tendencies, but for Julian, again, he's such a tall guy that we need him to stand nice and athletic. I think, again, most people are sitting down all day. So just getting his setup good to start. We do have checkpoints in his swing that we've been working on for the last couple of months. So we're going to go through that today as well too. Just make sure that everything's kind of ticking over in the right way. I think what we've been talking about a bit more is a bit more performance training. So we're going to have a look again at just trying to get his numbers dialed in a bit more. His swing is looking better, but translating that into more numbers performance for when he's actually out playing on the golf course. Julian has a lot of speed, so being able to slow that down and actually making it more manageable is something that I think we're starting to target. I think once we have that done, we're then going to look at some driver work and hopefully get that tidied up. Perfect. There's definitely a move in there that we've been looking at. So we'll hopefully get all that covered in today's video and see how we do.
So we have 1 hour, so
yeah, we'll get it done.
Time and And the last few weeks we work also a lot to have a backswing, a downswing a bit slower, to have a better tempo.
Yes.
Also with the video when I record on the game, on the course, it's really interesting because when I'm editing, I can see the speed of my backswing.
Yes.
And the swing, total swing, it's maximum 1 second. Yes. Sometimes it's below 1 second, but it's a bit too speed.
Yes.
So it's really important for me to have this number because sometimes I have the feeling that I'm really slow, but in fact I'm not.
Yeah. And on-course speed is much harder to control than being in here or even being on a driving range. Everyone will swing quicker. And I think for your swing tendency, Julian loves to get the club underneath him, that the quicker he gets and the quicker that transition gets, like he really gets it stuck. So again, that tempo thing is also linked to a technical problem as well. So once they mix together, so again, it's all stuff you're going to see. And hopefully you'll be able to see him get a little better by the end of this hour.
And you know the drop? Yeah. I saw on the video that I remove a bit this drop. Yeah. With the wrist, definitely I completely stop to do it and I'm more
it's kind of one-to-one instead of getting
this one
that
will work a lot, work really nice, and I can see also that the ball is going more straight. So sometimes I miss on right or left, maybe I'm not well aligned, but it's more and more consistent and the wrist on the backswing is for a lot.
Okay.
Bon alors c'est parti, je vais m'échauffer un petit peu d'abord et puis je vais prendre mon fer neuf pour m'échauffer et ensuite c'est parti pour la leçon. Oh!
All good?
Yeah, sorry, I moved my touch.
All good. Okay. Okay, so I think there's one thing I actually want to touch on slightly. You know the way we started with, we've talked a bit about that right hip getting more like this.
Yes.
One thing that I find when I see this in players is that it's what starts your backswing can cause this. So if you pay close attention to the face-on angle, you'll see here, look at the way, so your club is going to start. So see the way your club goes first. So again, setup's much better. Again, you've got the shoulders more back. Okay, so again, you look stronger. You have more space. I'm happier with that. But the start of your swing. So you see the way hips haven't moved at all, but your club is actually moving first. What I want to trial run a little bit today is I want you to actually bump into the right side before you move the club. So if I showed you then from this angle what that would look like, it's more, if you start with the club and you go like this, and then you try and turn, then the right hip can get out of place. If you look at a lot of the tour players, what they'll do is they'll shift and then they'll just turn into that right side, and you'll see I have this angle created. So feel like you have a little bit of a bump and then just turn, and that will actually create a nicer pivoting move than going club and then trying to turn that hip and it gets outwards like that, okay? So it's more weight shift all together and then turn from there. So hit one or two for me like that and see how it feels. Because again, the swing is looking tidier, but as you see, it's just that move at the top we're looking at. See where that right hip gets like out of place a little bit? Yeah. And I think that will become more extreme then with the 3-wood and the driver.
So it means that my right leg is going
outwards too much. Okay. And I think that's because you start the backswing too much with the club. You see the way you haven't really shifted any weight here? It's just a club, and then you kind of go that way with your hips. So just feel a little shift at the start with your hips, okay? And again, tempo, nice and smooth. Not caring about the strike too much for now, so good posture. Just feel like you bump into the right side first. See how that feels. Okay. It's actually way better already in one swing. Okay?
Okay.
So much better. Just try and slow it down ever so slightly. Good. Okay. How'd that feel?
Yeah. So it's more, the feet is more inside than outside. Huh?
Yes, way more on the inside. There you go. Let's have a look at this then and see again, club path hasn't shifted at all, so that's good. That's way cleaner. How does that feel to you? Because if I get rid of the other angle just for a second and just pull up this.
I will show.
So again, like this is the first move on the left, and we've talked. This will become more of an issue with your driver. So that first move off it, okay. So at the top of your swing, you're 0.5 inches off it with your hips. I would like you to be more recentered at the top. Okay. So the first move is good to go off it, but then you're already going left at the top. Let's have a look at this. And again, I haven't seen the numbers on it, but to my eyes that looked better. So I'd be keen to see the numbers. See that?
Yes, I'm
more centered, okay? That to me is, and it mightn't seem like much, but that has a big difference. The angle of your right leg. So it's the way you pivot. And if you go club first, then your hips, everyone gets like this. Whereas if you look at all the tour players and look at their numbers, before the club even moves, they're actually going this way, and then they're re-pivoting into it. Make sense?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
It's something that we discussed last Friday.
I looked into it when you said it, being like, what causes that? And again, I look at, there's a thing called gears that does, there's a few guys I know who do all the tour players, and I look at what their hips do from setup to P2 takeaway, and the hips go before the club does. And then they pivot around it instead of going club and then trying to move into the right side. Because if you went club and then pivoted, you get stuck on your left leg, and that's, we're not teaching, as good as like the stack and tilt motion is, I don't teach that, and you're not a stack and tilt guy, so it's like right side, pivot, and then back into the lead side. Because when you're up here and then you're already going left, you started the downswing, so it's much more smooth in the transition. But that is way nicer where it is there. Perfect. So work with it for a second. That's the only thing I want you to think about for now, because the swing looks pretty good. And then we're going to do some tempo stuff, I think will be the next
at the coffee machine at work, I'm like that. I'm focused. When I start saying, no, it's not like that. It's
yes, and I would literally kind of go and then just turn from there. Just a little bump and then recenter it. Okay, so nice and smooth, get the shoulders back.
Good, lovely. So this one, it will help also to have a better contact.
Yes, way better.
To avoid the heavy.
Yes, 100%. Because if you're like this, mate, first of all, you know, with the driver, if you're like this, to get up on the ball, you're going to start going backwards. Whereas if you're here, then you can just push down into it, okay?
Yeah.
Again, just having one check on this. Yeah, it's way better. See that angle in your right foot? So it's a little bit more inward. So there's like a little, so you still have the weight in your right side, even though it's starting to move left already, but it's like loaded, so there's coil. Whereas if you're going out like this, there's no energy, there's no tension. So it's much cleaner, okay? Okay, that sounded nice.
Boom.
Okay, and again, club path made is actually quite nice. Okay.
Yeah. This one, it's really good.
Now look at, to me, like, it's the move of, like, tour average is I need you to move off the golf ball to start. So you'll see here when you go, you've moved away, you're moving away from it, and I'll actually just pull up your other swing to start. So again, just focusing on purely hip sway. So you'll see here when you move off it at the start, see the way when you get to the top of your swing, you're moving more and more off the golf ball. And that left hip or right hip is really moved this way.
Yeah.
Now have a look at what you're doing now. So you move off it slightly. That's good. Now you're really recentering. Okay? See the difference between these two? It seems marginal, but to me that's way, way cleaner because you're still 0.8 inches off it. There's a 1.6 inch of a difference. You're way more centered here.
Yeah.
Okay? Much, much tighter, okay? That's all it is?
Definitely. Yeah, perfect.
Your rhythm does look cleaner. It looks way less.
It's better, huh?
Yeah, it does look cleaner. Okay, so like what's your average carry distance with a 9-iron, would you say? What would you like it to be?
It's like 130 between here in the on the practice here. It's like between around 130.
Okay, so let's just set it at like 130, and let's actually just keep a target in mind now as these shots. Okay, so I want you to start kind of applying the concept of okay, I need to like start thinking of it's dead straight. The green's just 30 feet wide on both sides, so it's just like a standard shot, middle of the green. But now we're gonna have a look at what normal swings feel like, and then we'll start taking some off it in a minute. But keep working on just that takeaway feel. Load the right leg first, then move the club. Okay, lovely. 132-ish, there we go.
Perfect.
Okay, lovely. And again, like we want your club path to be like 4, 5, 6 in out with a 9-iron because we know then as that shaft gets longer, it's going to become more neutral. Whereas probably like a month ago, it was nearly 8, 9, 10 from the inside, and you just had so much flip going on. But my big, you see like this angle that you have here at setup, we're not trying to get rid of that at all, like that right leg. Yeah, you're way more centered over the ball. Right leg through impact is pretty good. Okay. It's a nice
I have
move.
the feeling to move a bit less than before.
Yes.
So if I'm staying in the center,
yes,
I have the feeling it's easier
to push forward.
To push, yes.
Yeah, and that's
when I'm here,
it's all over the place today. You got like, I don't mind movement with the driver so much, but like you've got a 9-iron in your hand. You don't necessarily need to be given this like the full throttle. We need control because again, that was really nice. We want to keep the club pat less than like 6. Face to target's pretty good. We've worked a lot on controlling the club face for months really with the transition stuff, but now we need to tidy up this move because if it's like that with a 9-iron, it's going to be worse with a driver. So just keep working on it. Let's try
and also to be there, it will be easier
to do that
push
move. Yes,
the hips.
100%. If you're like this, you'll tend to kind of get more this way, which again will cause that. Okay, so just keep working on it. You're doing well. Good tempo. Let's try and just keep giving out these numbers.
The minimum, I've done 1 on the green, so it's good.
Yes.
For the video.
100%. You started on a good track.
I won't miss all my shots.
You're good in front of the camera. Okay, so good setup. Get them shoulder blades back for me. Lovely.
Stay.
Money. Okay?
Perfect.
Again, club path 1.3 face. It's very nice, mate. And I'm just going to checkpoint that little bit of the hip every single time to see what you're doing. Little bump off it. Okay, good.
No. I had the feeling to go a bit...
It's okay, it's going to finish in the hole.
yeah, but on the...
I know what you mean, you'll see it. And I will see it, but that's okay. Let's have a look. Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, that was more the old swing.
I felt
that.
On the top of the backswing that I was like that.
Weight outside the right foot instead of on the inside.
I mean that it's good that I felt it because
you
like
know
that I can focus and fix it.
Okay, lovely.
Oh yeah, this one is good.
Yeah.
And when I'm hitting like that, I have the feeling to don't put a lot of power.
No.
It just, and it's going slowly and just release a bit.
It's much better, mate. It's this move here. So you're moving off it, but then by the time you get to the top, see the way you've started to move left before you finish your down or backswing. That's what we're looking for. Keeps you nice and centered over the ball. Impact's pretty good. Release is lovely here. That's so nice. A lot of green showing up on my chart here, which is good. Okay, good tempo now. Get that right, get the shoulder blades back just a little bit more. Okay, get them nice and stretched out, good.
I had the feeling when I'm doing like that, I had the
lower back,
a
bit tight. I think everyone, I've done this with a lot of people, they all say the same. Just a lot of stretching in the glutes. It's your glutes are a little tight and your hamstrings are a little tight, so when you get this move going, you're going to feel it in your lower back. So it's okay to have them a little bit caved in, but just make sure we're not doing
not
that a little bit. Yeah, a little bit of space.
The shoulder more below than...
up. I like the feeling of raising them up and getting your chest out a little bit, just to give yourself more space.
It's also because I had 2 herniated discs.
Okay, that doesn't help
so
either.
It's not helpful.
Yes, so you don't have to kill it, but just make sure we're not internally rotated too much. Good tempo. That was the best one. So much better when you slow it down. And the funny thing is your club head speed hasn't dropped. It's not, this isn't like and I think the best way to describe that is if I did, I swing it like 92 miles an hour, and if I go to the top and then I just go, I hit it, think that out. I swung it like 88. Okay, bad golf shot, but I stopped for like 2 seconds. So it's not a speed thing.
Definitely.
It's not a speed thing.
You can put below.
Okay, maybe in here.
Yeah, here it will be.
That would be better. Okay.
Yeah, it's true.
Like you stopping at the top of your swing isn't going to slow you down. And you're not even stopping, that's the thing. You're doing the opposite. You're just moving better. And I think if you move slower here, you've loaded better. So you actually could probably swing faster. That's the crazy thing. Now, from a physics standpoint, if you go fast up, you will go faster down.
Okay.
But that's if your body is moving efficiently. Whereas if you go fast and you go into the incorrect pivoting position, then you're not going to be able to move the club as fast.
It's also consistency because it's to be faster to have like 5 meters more that it's not...
makes no difference.
When I have this distance, it's already so good. So I mean that...
You hear a lot of people criticizing Bryson this weekend, even though he's one of the best players in the world, saying he's trying to hit everything too hard. Great for a driver, and he puts the life out of a golf ball, but they said he needs to change how he hits an iron, which I'd love to hit a 9 iron 200 yards, but he only has 1 gear is what they're saying. He needs to be able, I think that you might probably relate to him a bit on that. It's like when you're swinging it good, it works. But then if you don't really know where the ball is going, it's like, it's just impossible. So it's going to help everything that we're working on. Just keep in 1 or 2 more with this feeling, and then let's maybe hit some different shots. Okay, better. It's crazy how much tempo makes a big difference to the move.
Oh yeah.
And like we talk about club path, like your face even on the left one was fine, but it was just because you were so stuck and underneath it, you just have no space at all whatsoever.
When I'm around 88 miles per hour, it's perfect.
That's again how fast I swing a 7-iron. So, you know, like you don't need, we're not looking for distance here. We're looking to calm down this movement here, okay? Want you to try 1 or 2 more for me again, where we just try and get that right hip a little bit more on the inside of the leg. So to feel like, there we go, we're really pivoting into the inside of that right foot at the top. So it's not that, just more inside of the, inside of the right foot. Good, just to stay a bit more stable. Good, nice. Okay, so good tempo. Okay, how did that feel?
Amazing.
Okay.
130.
Nice. Just be careful of the club path to the drop.
Yeah.
Now that's interesting, because it's like the more we turn, the deeper the club gets behind us. So that could cause the more underneath, you know, in out. But sometimes I feel like when we get a bit pulley on them, so I'm going to pull up your shoulder rotation there. I know the hip sway wasn't perfect. That was good. But if I show you the one beforehand, where we get a little bit pulley, now I'm okay with not turning the shoulders as much, but this is 69 at the top. And then whereas, you tell the difference between that and that. Now the club path did get a little bit more inside. I think if you calm down the transition, I prefer the one on the right though. I know the hip sway isn't perfect, but it's just more space. And it's probably should take you longer to get to the top if you turn more.
You know that it's my issue for a long time.
Yeah,
that if I'm not focused to turn more, it's like 69, 70.
It's okay though, it's not bad. So again, try and feel like a slow turn, but just more again, slow transition too, but just feel like you're turning a little bit more. Yeah, that's nice. Looks slower as well too. Okay?
Yeah. Because if I'm rotate more with my shoulder, I should have also a bit more club speed.
Yes.
Or it means that I can be a bit slower because I will have more.
Yes. Now, I will say that the deeper you turn, the more this will increase. But I still don't think 5-6 degrees from the inside is bad for an 9-iron. I think it's borderline, but I would still prefer to have a little bit deeper turn, try and slow down the transition rather than be kind of narrow and then get quick. And you know, it's the one where we don't stay shut to the target for too long. If you don't turn and then you get a little bit overturn on the way down, that's when you're going to hit them really long left shot. So again, try one again where we just feel slow backswing turn, but I want you to feel like again that you're just not getting that club whipping underneath you on the way down. Okay, and that was quick. Yeah, and when I'm quick, I'm doing like that, and my shoulders are open. Okay, so let's try a couple more, but I want you to do pauses at the top, okay? So pause at the top, 2 seconds, and hit. Okay, just pause, because again, that one was like that quick drag. So just pause it and see what happens. I don't care if you shank it, but just nice and slow. Good shoulders. pause. You see, that to you was a pause. And it was still like good, good, go, go, go. And I think this is where we need to be patient with each other for a while working on it. Like, you didn't stop. I would literally want you to get here, just sit there for a second and then go, okay? You got it. Still swung that 86 miles an hour, okay? So pause, then go. See? And that's where the problem comes from, because you know you're already getting into to that move. Whereas again, like, I would like you to just work. Don't care about the strike. Just
and I felt also that I'm going a bit maybe too fast.
Yeah.
That at the top, my body is doing that.
Yes. You know what I would even engage in as well too, if you just get there for a second, is, you know, the move we've been working on about getting away from this movement where the hands come out and we get here. You could add one more piece to it where you just go there, up, and then down. So it's just 1, 2, pause, go. That's the feel that I would be looking for, because then you're kind of forcing the correct movements all the way through. Okay, and this is forcing you to be slow. Forcing. It's going to be tough. But I wouldn't have any expectation about good golf shot. It's more seeing the positions. Just go with it, work with it, because I think this is going to slow you down. Because again, your brain is literally like all the time, full force. Okay, so hit 1 or 2 practice swings, just get the feel for it. Take away, up, then just start the downswing. Good. Okay, take your time. Doesn't matter about strike. Okay, you got this. Okay, interesting. I'd love to see the move though. It's a skill, mate. Funny thing is, if we didn't see your golf swing there, or didn't see where the golf ball went.
Yeah. It was 84, the
shoulder turn. Hips moved off a little bit too much, but there's no, like, if we pull up, that's way cleaner here.
Okay.
Okay, hit a normal swing again, get a feel for it, but let's see if that slowed you down a little bit. So, nice and smooth, slow. Okay, not bad.
I hit a bit on...
Little toey.
Yeah. But okay.
Okay.
It's just that there is no spin ready to stop the ball.
Club path is better though. And I hate seeing when it creeps to 7 inside. That's when you get the massive flips going.
Yeah.
Whereas again, we just need to keep it slow. Let's have a quick look at that hip sway again. I want you to be super focused on it for this session, is really loading. It's better there, that one was good. Like if I get, yeah, that's what we're looking for. Again, when the left arm is parallel, 0.5 is good, but I want you to already be moving back into that left leg.
Yeah.
Okay?
So it's after P2 that
yes, you start
it's going
shifting
a bit.
back.
Okay.
Yes, you kind of go good, and then you go like this. That's why I like the earlier shift and then turn back into the lead side. And see how that feels, but it's way less droppy on the inside. This move here, way better. Stays way more out in front of you. Okay. So you even feel like you're really getting that left hip, right hip more inward on the way back, okay? Okay, watch the shoulders a little bit, so stretch out. How'd that feel?
Yeah, it was good.
I should nearly just
I
put
had a good feeling on this one.
I need to put a gun to your head and be like, slow down. It's crazy the difference between, like your backswing there took about 1.5 seconds. Whereas like the going left ones have literally been so yanky, and then it's like when you go that speed on the way back, you physically can slow down. If you were to try and feel smooth on the way down, when you go that quick going back, you'd be decelling. So it's like you've lost it straight away. What you need to feel is, and then you can hit it as hard. I don't care if you hit it hard, but it's the feeling of that really quick backswing feel, it just kills you because it even promotes that with the right hip as well.
Also, I have one question. It's like, when do you accelerate on the downswing? Because for me, I have the feeling that when I'm here, I want to put the full power from now.
Yeah.
So it's for this reason that often I drop, and sometimes I have the feeling that it's not here, they start, and it's more when they are here that they accelerate.
I think I think it depends on your tendency. I think if you're like, I personally feel in the golf swing, when your club is parallel to the ground at 6, that's when you start pushing up. So for me, I'm always just trying to get into the right spot till here, and then I'm jumping.
Okay.
That's the feel I have.
So it means when you start your downswing, you don't really
Not
accelerate.
Not necessarily, like, because what I'm doing is I'm creating tension. So I'm just trying to coil, and then when I'm going up, that's when I feel like I'm actually releasing the club. Because I think if I have a massive problem of going early, and then I open too quickly.
I have the feeling also to do that.
And then I hit the pull hook. Like when I hit the one earlier that I hit really bad and I stopped, I just went like quick. Whereas if you're like setting it and then you can go as much as you want from there, that's what I like. But I'm someone who opens up early, so that's the feel. Good. Okay?
Yeah.
So again, nice, really work on that setup. Get the shoulders back, good. Okay, slow down that backswing. Class, it's the best one you've hit.
Oh yeah, this one was amazing.
Much better. Okay, no curve on that at all. 0. Club path, fantastic. Okay?
88.
There we go.
This speed is mine.
It's perfect. Okay?
Yeah, good. Let's go with the driver. But I'm struggle with this one sometimes.
It's all right.
Currently, it's a lot like that.
Right. Okay.
Yes. So it means that the face is open.
You definitely move through it better in terms of you didn't hang back on it as much. But for me, it's your pivot. It's very similar to what I talked about with your iron. But you see this first move at the top here, like even when you work away, see what that right hip is doing. It's this move here.
Which one, sorry?
So you see where you are here with your hip. See this move? Where the right hip gets quite out of position. Actually looks like you're on your right toe quite a lot as well too at the top of your swing. So it's kind of like you're up. So you kind of go like this feeling. And then you're pushing towards the golf ball too much. I'd be interested to see if you are early extending a little bit. And again, let's just see where you are at impact. Not bad, honestly, with the early extension, but I just feel like we need to pivot into that right side a little bit more, because you only turn your hips 30 degrees, you only turn your shoulders 68. So to me, it's like I would like to see, you can shift off it, but I want to see more of a turn of the body, okay? So if I, again, show what I feel you're doing is more, not as much turn. So you're kind of going like this feeling. Yeah. And then you have to like hang back on it to hit it. Whereas I would like you to feel, again, more into the right heel, inside, and then you can push down, but also push forward as well too. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Because again, if I'm up here, then I have to nearly like work back on it. And you'll see your hip sway actually starts to go backwards a little bit in your downswing. I would like to feel more again into the right hip, push down, literally push down as much as you can. Like, that's the feeling you want to have. Into the right heel, push forward, head goes really far down, okay? So give that a go.
It's last Friday also when I work on this hip sway and shoulder sway. It means that on the driver at the beginning, it's like I'm doing like that.
Yes.
And after like that.
Exactly, but that actually makes sense, doesn't it?
And it means that my shoulder is going
backwards.
Backwards.
And like that, the shoulder does go back in the swing. But the first move has to be down and then it can push up.
Yeah.
Whereas yours goes, you're here, so then you have to start going reverse pivot to get back to the ball.
Because you know when we saw the professional sometimes
Yeah.
we have the feeling when we saw them they are like that.
Yes.
But they are like that to go
Up and forward.
Yeah.
Yes.
So they move like that, and for me, I'm push and
Because
doing that,
you're
and
like,
I finish too much
yes.
on my right leg.
If you're here, you're not going to be able to suddenly just get into
Yeah.
and go forward. You have to be more loaded in, even let the shoulder come back a little bit more. So I want you to get to the top and stop. I want you to feel, so go up to the top and stop one more time. Okay. Good. I want you to feel back, and I want you to feel weight all on the inside of that right heel. Okay, and that first move I want you to push down as much as you can. Good. Right shoulder down. Good. Does that feel a little different to what you're doing?
Yeah. You know, sometimes I'm a bit scared to go
Back.
back. It's because each time we say that the head shouldn't move.
Yeah, no, that's a lie for the driver. You can move your head.
Okay.
For a 9-iron, yes, I want you to stay nice and stable. But with a driver, I'm okay with you pushing, getting the shoulder back so that you can push down into it more. Because I don't mind that at all, okay? Okay. Again, into the right heel now. Really turn the left hip, left shoulder. Okay, work with it for a second. Hit one more, take a video of it. Okay. Now if you think about hitting high on the face, you're more going up this way. I want you to feel like you're pushing underneath it and pushing up with it, okay? Give it one more. Get the tee height that you like, that you feel comfortable with. Looks a little high on the tee for me, but
yeah, it's
very
for
high.
me also.
Yeah. Tee it up for whatever height suits you. Just hit one more and get that feel again. Okay, it's high on the face. Let's have a look.
Yeah. Oh.
Okay, to me it's the hips here. Like if I show you like Rory, for instance, and I'll just pull up your swing. You'll be a good guy there.
Yes, I like the comparison.
Yes. Okay, so let's have a look at Rory. He's a good driver of the golf ball on his day. Okay.
You almost missed the cut.
Mostly again paying attention to his hips. Now your setup to me honestly isn't that bad. I don't think that's causing the issue, but look at where his hips are compared to his shoulders. Okay? See the way you can see his left glute appearing over here?
Yeah.
Like this little spot here. Let's have a look at you. You tell the difference between the two of them. He's actually moved his shoulder way more back off the line. So your shoulder here is 2.6 towards the target. That's fine with an iron because your first move in the downswing is forward and into the ground. You skied a couple now because you're here, and then you have to come back as much as possible. What I would like to see is again getting that shoulder. Like
for Rory, we have the number of...
over there. For Rory, we don't. But again, if I showed you my swing, I'd show you my shoulder would probably get off at like an inch.
Okay.
So with an iron, like it's fine. Like I'll show you your iron swing from earlier. And I'd be interested to see if it's even similar to like where you are with a driver. So you're better with an iron than you are with a driver. And can you see why you're struggling to have any space? Because you're literally like this.
Okay.
You're leaning left so much that you have no space with the driver. That's absolutely fine if you tee it down really low and hit a low bullet. But if you're trying to hit it up into the sky, now think about what your shoulder is doing from the top of the swing here. Okay, it's going back really, really early. Okay, so what we need to feel is tee the first couple quite low just to help out with the strike a bit. I think it'll help you, but I want you to feel like your left shoulder gets behind the ball and stays behind it. Okay, and don't even worry about your swing. I just want you to feel like that left shoulder gets behind the golf ball more. Okay, good. Good. Turn your hips, get the left shoulder behind the golf ball more. Okay, still high. Let's have a look. And we really haven't touched on this much, but I think we need to. Because, okay, let's have a look at that. That looked better actually.
Yeah?
Eh, slightly.
Same distance as my 9-iron.
That's all right. But you see this move here? And the hips as well too. So I would like you to feel like the hips are nearly ahead of your shoulders at the top.
Okay.
So like this is a sequencing thing, and with the speed it's tough, but if I showed you my hips here at the top, so my hips are ahead of my shoulders, you're more shoulder ahead of your hips, and then you have to go like this to hit it. And that's why when you don't get it right, you hit on top of the golf ball a lot. If you're, again, like this, I'll never sky one being like there. See the way I'm literally just going back, and then I'm just feeling like I can go up on it? That's why you need to feel you're very stacked. And then that's why you hit so high on the face. So feel like, again, this is an exaggeration of the 9-iron. Go for one more. I want you to show you, I'll get you to the top of the swing, and we're gonna just get a feel for what
Even on the last one, because I had a feeling to...
Yes, and you see that left hip?
But I'm doing
yes, that's it. It's there. That's it. That's exactly it, where you are there. Turn that left knee in more, hip forward. You still got your weight back, but the shoulders back more.
Okay.
That makes sense. So it's not shoulders ahead of hips at the top. Because if I'm here, how in the name of God am I supposed to get up? So keep the hip.
I'm like that.
That's it.
Because I'm focused on my shoulder and not on my hips.
Okay, and feel again. I don't care if you hit this heavy, but I just want you to feel low to high. So hips forward, head or shoulders back. How did that feel? That was the best swing I've seen you hit with a driver.
Yeah, let's go.
And there was more coil.
Boom.
Okay?
Yeah.
Money. And like you hit up on that 3.7 degrees. So it wasn't that you just, you know, like you're actually hitting more up on it now. You're here, which allows you to go underneath and forward. If you're like this, something has to go backwards for you to get into the right spot. So you start going like this. So the shoulders go back, whereas it's shoulders back, hips forward, weight in the right side, and then you can push forward from there. So I love, like if you look at all the tour players, most of them at the top of their backswing, even though they can go off it to hit it fair, what you'll see is at the top, see my left hip here? It's miles in front of my shoulder, and there's coil. So then I can push down and I can just rip it.
Okay.
Okay, so hips ahead of shoulder. Okay, I know this is weird, and with the driver it's more difficult. Okay, not bad. Just work with the
hit on the...
It's okay, it's fine.
The heel.
Okay. Better movement there though. Okay, nice and slow, mate. Okay, really coil up the hips, get the shoulder behind the ball. Okay, it's fine.
After it's normal to don't fix in to swing, but
so that's the feel. Just really coil up, get that right leg or left hip ahead. Good. Even more. Really stretch out that left knee. Let the left knee work in more. Good. And stay back. Stay back, 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 back. Better. Still slightly high. Okay. And try one or two where you just tee it down super low for a minute. Okay. I'm going to video this one and see what it looks like. Shoulders ahead, or hips ahead of shoulders at the top. Better. Okay. Up at 2.5 inside, face fractionally open. Okay. I still think this is where we're going to have to do a lot of the work. So that first move in the backswing, The club goes a lot, the hips go forward, but now they start going, see that move at the top, where the hips slightly move off the ball.
Okay.
So I would again like to start seeing more of that left hip at the top of your swing. So you see you've actually moved towards the target initially with your hips, but then you move slightly off it, and your, again, hips are set back, shoulders are over the ball. So this is where we're going to really deep turn into the right heel. Show me that left glute, okay? So again, 37 degrees of turn with your shoulders, or with your hips, 75 with your shoulders.
It means also that if my hips sway too much,
Yes,
it's like I can't rotate.
yes,
If I'm more here, I can rotate
yes, you can
easier.
rotate more. And again, you can feel that low to high feeling. And that's why doing it with the 9-iron is going to be super important, because if we can't do it with that, then we're not going to be able to do it with the driver, okay? So just feel like you're really getting deep into that right heel, get the shoulder back, feel like you're going low to high, okay? Like low, really low in the backswing, finishing high. Okay, good. Good. Okay, nice. Okay, let's go. Better?
Yeah.
Can you feel more coil when you do it that way? And that's very straight. It's easy. No problem.
Definitely.
Okay? We need to get out of this motion. It's going to kill your driver.
Oh, yes.
And you can get away with it.
Kill
Yeah.
all my shot.
You can get away with it, but you need to literally deck the driver off the ground, because it's going to force you to get too on top of it. And now you probably know you sky it, you can miss it both ways. Like for now when you're playing, yeah, tee it up really low and you can get on top of it, but we want to have that feeling of hip front, and then we can push down and push up, okay? So really rotate into that right heel. Get the left shoulder back, left hip forward. Good. Okay, stay behind it.
Ah, no.
Okay,
I felt that.
you can feel
I
it.
opened too much.
It's quick though. Okay, say it one.
Too fast.
Yeah. Okay. Better.
Yeah, definitely when I have the feeling to go slower,
It
I
helps.
control more my body.
Yes. I think this will be a primary focus for us moving forward, because the irons are in a spot where they're healthy. But when I just see that the hips are behind your shoulders here at the top, that to me is just too much for a driver, okay?
So my shoulder, it's still toward.
A little bit. It's better. It was like 2.8. Okay? And I think the more you can get into this position, where that right heel is loaded better, you can move back. Whereas if you're here, you know, in your right toe, that left shoulder stays in front a little bit more, okay? You'll get there, okay? Hit one more for me. We'll call it quits. So push, even push the left hip forward a little bit more at setup. So bump it forward more, good. Okay. It's a good swing, just open face. Healy?
No. No, not really.
Okay.
It's
Just open. Okay, so one more feel. Good, that's the feel. Show me that left hip. Feel low to high, okay? Close. Still
small
slightly
draw.
lie in the face. It's better. But again, tempo
it's crazy.
is...
Tempo is too fast.
Yes, massively too fast.
Oh.
Slow. And it's going to be hard with the driver because we haven't mastered it yet with the 9-iron, but you're getting somewhere. Again, it's not this movement, that's the feel.
Yeah.
Okay. Slow. Better. Wow, way better. We could not talk about anything and tell you to swing slower and you play better. But we need to switch the sequencing up because we're not, like that club head speed was the exact same. Yeah, the tempo of the backswing was half the speed of what it was.
Yeah.
So it's a huge part of what you need to work on, is tempo. Because you can't, if your first move is quick and you go, you can't get back into the position we're talking about. But for the driver, it's left shoulder back more, left hip has to be more over the ball. But really slow pace, okay? Good. Slow, 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 slow. Much better. That was actually a toe strike. But I prefer that.
I lost a bit the grip.
It's okay. Club path is good. Okay, hit one more for me. Then I gotta finish up with you. So again, left shoulder back, left hip stays there. Try and feel like we're getting higher. Okay.
It's always
high.
Whoa. You know that I already break one driver, one pin like that last time?
From hitting it high toe.
It was break.
That's where they always break though. But like, if you look at where you are here with the driver, we'll work on this more, mate. We need to do full session on it because it's different to the iron. You are so stacked on top of it with your left shoulder here. That was the last thing you see your left shoulder. So it's going 3.1 inches towards.
I will record.
This is the big focus of your driver swing. So you're 3.1 inches towards the target with your shoulders here. You're stuck, okay? And you have to move so far back to hit it. What we need is more of a left shoulder back so you can just push forward and low. Whereas you're here and you're pushing forward. That's why you're skying it.
So it means that it's that I said at the beginning that my shoulder.
Yes.
I'm starting like that and I finish
have to
like
go
that.
back. But you're doing that to save your swing. Whereas we need to eventually have this at like 0-0 and then you can push forward from there. Okay? But it starts with the hips too. The more you get the hips like this, the more the shoulder is going to stay like that. So we need to literally get that feeling going. Good.
So I'm doing that and after, currently I'm doing
back.
That.
Yes, and then you can sky it, you can hit it right, you can hit it left.
And I should do more?
Yes, forward, but you can only do that if your shoulder is behind it enough. And you actually, when you do it really well, you sky it because you're too far in front of it. Does that make sense? So the ones that are actually decent are the skies because you're just too far ahead of it because your shoulders, whereas if the shoulder's 1 inch behind it, then that move works. But for now, I would just tee it lower and hit a low cut until you get that move right. Make sense?
Makes sense, yeah. So thanks so much for this session. It was amazing. I have to work a lot on my driver again, on my swing.
Okay, though.
The dynamic, it's also the dynamic of the body is so important.
The pivot,
And it creates an inconsistency after on the course.
Yeah.
So I didn't finish my lesson for this year with you.
That's
so
okay.
we'll work a lot, but thank you so much.
Yes, sir. We'll keep working on it. As I said, you've come a long way with your irons. We're striking them good. We haven't focused as much on the driver.
Yeah.
And again, the sequencing with it, we're in a bad spot at the top. We're going to have to readjust it, but give us a couple of weeks and we'll be fine.
Perfect.
Okay? Yes, sir.
Thanks. See you next week.
Yes, sir. All right.